Hi, my name is Eliana Lynn Uretsky and my business is Being in Motion. Welcome to my YouTube channel. You may have noticed that the title of this video is Feel Better After Gardening Than Before. For many decades, I have worked as a movement educator and movement therapist, and in this video, my worlds come together. Because as of about 20 years ago, I also design, install, and maintain California native, low water, and food gardens. And every winter and spring, I prune several hundred fruit trees. As you can imagine, days can be long, the work can be really intense, but I'm pretty much never in pain and very seldom even sore. I attribute this to two things: applied neurology, which I practice and teach. You can learn about it on my website, and you're welcome to come attend a free class so you can get a first-hand felt experience of what I'm talking about. And the other thing is moving in coherence with our design. And that's what I want to share with you today, because over the years there have been many clients, both movement clients and garden clients, who tell me that they gardened a little bit the day before and now their knees hurt or their back hurts or they're sore. And it doesn't really have to be that way. Before we get started, you know your body and your limitations better than anyone else, so please heed them. If I offer something that you know that evokes pain for you, don't do it or adapt it. Make it work for you. Don't do anything that takes you into pain. And finally, everything that I'm about to offer you is something that you can practice everywhere in your life. So please practice everywhere in your life. That will make application in your gardening that much more effective and easy. Nothing I'm about to say or do constitutes medical advice, and everything that is in the realm of health practices or exercise should be cleared with your medical provider or doctor in advance. This video is taking place outdoors in city landscapes, so we have a lot of ambient sound. In fact, in making this video, I have become acutely aware of all the ambient sounds in the neighborhoods. We have helicopters flying overhead at this very moment. We have airplanes flying overhead every few minutes because there's a local airport. And we have car noises, occasionally all kinds of sounds. But we also have the sounds of birds and the beauty of, I just saw a monarch butterfly go past. We're outdoors, it's a garden video, and I hope you don't find these extraneous sounds too disruptive. We're gonna start with two movement principles that are gonna fix so many things, you'll hardly believe it. The first is long spine. So we're going to allow the spine to have its natural full length rather than giving in to gravity and collapsing. To do this, we're going to start by patting ourselves on the head because we did a great job, and lengthening up into that head pat. And then you can take your hand away and allow that length to continue. And let's bring the hand back. Now we're going to bend the knees, and like a battering ram, we're going to push up into the hand, driving it toward the heavens. Again, you can let up on your pressure, bend the knees, push up, give a little compression with the hand, press the hand away toward the heavens. One more time, bend the knees, bring the hand down, just a little compression, press up, press that hand toward the heavens. Good. Now take your hand away, let's do it again. Press up as though the hand were there and feel that length. Bend the knees. Now, of course, that presses into the ground, so we're using the marvelous force of gravity and creating our length from gravity all the way up into the heavens. The next thing that we're going to do is rub the collarbones. You can tap your collarbones. You're going to wake up your collarbones all the way out to the sides there. And also the top of the sternum, it's called the manubrium here, it's got a little notch. This area, give that a nice hard tap. Right underneath there is something, it's a gland called the thymus, and this produces your white blood cells. It likes being tapped. So we're going to wake all of this up, the upper lungs, the clavicles, and the upper sternum, and everything that lives inside. All of that is then going to also floats upward toward the heavens. So we have our floating head, always free, always easy, and then we have the floating of this upper area. As all of that floats, you may notice some tonus. in your obliques. These are abdominal muscles. What happens is, as you unwind here, you create tone in the abdominals. Not because you're forcing, not because you're trying to get that precise amount of tone. That's called manipulation. And you notice that what we're doing is we're visualizing, we're imagining, and it's kind of cool because when we do that, we use just the appropriate amount of effort. Not too much, not too little, no forcing, no fixity. We want movement. It's allowing the spine its length through the floating of the head, through the floating of this area. Takes care of so many problems. No longer do we have to fix this by doing this. No longer do we have to fix this by doing this. No longer do we need to fix this. No longer do we need to fix the rounded or the raised shoulders, because as all of this levitates, the shoulders sit right where they need to sit. The spine is nice and long. Pretty amazing that one principle, and we've only got one so far, can take care of so many things. On to principle number 2. I call it folding, not rounding. What do I mean? We're looking not to do this, and particularly not to do this. This is a recipe for trouble. Rounding the lumbar spine and rotating has been the woe of many people, so we're going to take care of our long spine. And instead, we're going to use our wonderful accordion joints. And they really are like an accordion, because the hip joints go back, the knees go forward, the ankles go back. They all move together very nicely. We might as well use them. So instead of getting closer to the ground this way with my upper body, I'm going to bring my center of gravity closer by folding. Am I having to think about bringing my center of gravity closer? No, because as long as I fold and keep my spinal length, my center of gravity is there. So I'm coming toward the ground by folding, not rounding. Pretty much also when I'm lifting something, I want to use my foldy joints so that my center of gravity comes closer, and also so that I protect that lovely spine. So we've addressed the 2 movement principles, our lovely length and our folding. One other thing I'd like you to bring your awareness to, am I breathing? Just that. Shortly, we'll also talk about how to direct the breath when we need it. Now let's apply this great information. Of course, stuff we learn is really like this, is only really useful if it's usable, right? If we've learned how to apply it. So grab a rake or grab a virtual rake. We're about to rake. That can be a light rake, a heavy metal rake, doesn't matter. I'll use the heavy metal rake. Of course, we're going to enjoy the principles that we've been talking about. So the collarbones float, the spine is wonderfully long. We have our unicorn horn reaching out beyond us through the top of the head. The sit bones also have a reach, because as I fold at the hip joints, knees and ankles, the sit bones reach back. My sit bone is connected to the pelvis, so you want to make sure you're not tucking the pelvis, because then you're jamming the front of the joint. If you feel like you're kind of sitting down, that's a right feeling. So let us place the rake on the ground and begin raking. What you want to make sure you don't do, and maybe it's old habit, is this: hunching the shoulders, rounding the spine. We've talked about that. So instead, we're going to let the knees bend, the ankles bend, the hip joints flex, and keep the spine nice and long. And what this allows us to do is simply move the center of gravity toward and away from what we're doing. So it can be very heavy duty raking, it can be very light. Doesn't matter, we're moving from the ground all the way up. So practice that. It may feel like a little dance. It can be quite enjoyable. Try it out. Moving right along, ready to sweep. This is an indoor-outdoor activity. All right, so it may be your habit to sweep like this or like this, but no longer. We're going to activate our juicy joints. We're going to allow the length through the top of the head, floating of the collarbones and the thymus. And I'm simply going to move along. It's almost like a dance, forward and back. You notice that up still is in this direction. The collarbones float so the shoulders can't round. The muscles underneath the shoulders work because they are not friends with these muscles. They're called antagonists. So when these muscles release, I will use the muscles underneath the shoulders. So you simply allow yourself to move toward and away from your object. practicing your lovely skills. Okay, so we have raked, we have swept, now we're getting a little more serious, the shovel. Inevitably, we shovel. So I'm going to face what it is I'm shoveling, got my foot on the shovel, folding at the hip joints, letting the knees and ankles be nice and juicy, spine is nice and long, top of the head, my ram's horn is reaching. I don't know if a ram's horn is exactly the right title, but you know what I'm talking about. And my floating collarbones are floating. So I'm going to move in. And you notice that the theme here is I never sacrifice this lift, this reaching and the lengthening. It just never has to give in, never has to cave into the job. I'm the center of the universe after all. And I'm going to dig and move toward and dig. Often there's leaning over to pick things up. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to fold, get down close to my object. Spine is long, top of the head is long. Collarbones still reach even here. I'm going to pick up this heavy little piece of rock and I'm going to press upward and ta-da, I've come up. Fold, gather, push the ground away and come up. So let's talk about lifting somewhat heavier objects. And please start with the lighter end of heavier objects. Practice with those, then you can build up from there. I'm folding, I'm lengthening, I'm reaching. I'm gonna take a breath here, and then as I push the ground away, I'm going to exert a mighty exhale, and that uprising power of the exhale is going to help bring me up, give me power, engage the abs, and make all this easier. So again, I'll fold, place, we place the same way we come up, take a breath, gather. You notice I don't have to do this ever. I'm just getting closer, I'm still reaching, and ready, set. There we are. Practice. As we all know, a lot of gardening happens close to the ground. So it is important, I suggest that you find several sitting positions or kneeling positions that work for you. I'm going to go through a few of them. And if you've got a little roster of possibilities, 2, 3, 4 options, you can move among them so that you're not planted in one position for a really long time. That in and of itself will be helpful. Here we go, a few different positions to try out. Obviously, all fours is one. This can be very nice if you don't do well sitting back on the knee joints, because you don't have to sit back on the knee joints. You notice that my spine is long, collarbones still reach, so I'm not having to hunch, and I'm flexing in the joints that are available to me to flex. You can also, of course, be up on one knee, down on one knee, up on one knee. This gives you a lot of leverage. I'm going to get that weed to move forward and back. You can be propped as a tripod, flexing at the hip joints, forward and back. So you notice all the principles are still operative. I can be in a squat. If that's available to me, of course, you can put something under your heels to support your heels, digging like so. Never need to do this. You're still using your flexi joints to move forward and back. There's also bum on the ground. Now what happens for a lot of us, if we have tight hamstrings, is that the tailbone and the sit bones get pulled underneath and it's hard to sit tall. So you might find that being up on a little support, this is a simple yoga block, being up on a little support there, all of a sudden, can you see I'm able to sit taller more easily? I've got my knees bent, I've got my feet nicely supported. Once again, I can flex forward and back. All of this is doing what it does when I'm in upright. I still have a lot of power, and I can even rotate in sitting with my long spine. Remember, we don't want to be doing this, but if I'm rotated and I'm long in the spine, then I'm much more protective of it. So you have the option of sitting. If you are fine and super flexible in the hamstrings, sure, sit all the way on the ground. You can have your legs in any position. This gives you lots of options. So please play around, come up with at least 2 or 3 possibilities, and then move among those. Now for some people, the only option is Cleopatra. So I'm going to snuggle up to this lovely pineapple guava here, kind of drape it around myself. And I'm going to rest on this elbow. I'm not going to let the shoulder collapse because that's kind of problematic for the shoulder. I'm going to push the ground away with my shoulder. I'm still going to allow the reaching and the lengthening, and I'm going to get as much force as I can get by rotating this toward what I'm doing. So I get the power from here rather than from the shoulder, which has a lot less power. You probably won't want to stay a long time on one elbow like that. I think if you listen to your body, you'll get a pretty clear signal when to move out of that. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. Please like and subscribe. That helps me. You can leave comments on my website, beinginmotion.net, and there you will also find information about my online yoga and neurologically based fitness classes, in which we make sure that your body stays strong and agile and your brain stays fresh as a daisy. Your first class is always free. You can sign up for that on my website. Finally, to quote the illustrious Studs Terkel, take it easy, but take it.